value systems.
and
It's human to be moral. It's human to be moral. But what we have to do in this moment is recognize that evil is happening in this world.
Absolutely.
There's immorality that is happening
But where are
in
you
this
getting
world.
that criterion of what evil is?
When you see children in Gaza, the children of my children's age, be killed, there's evil that is happening in this world.
So how do you know?
And
I'm
so,
gonna pose
no, you can hold on all you want. And what we have to do is we have to not lose sight of the fact that we could have wankery philosophical debates about false equivocation between
You do understand
Christian,
everyone's a philosopher.
Muslim,
Wait, hold on.
and
Everyone's
Jewish.
okay, I'm gonna make 2 points.
Wait a second.
Okay.
But see, here's the problem. While you're splitting hairs because you think that this value system is more important or better than that value system, there's still being children killed with our tax dollars that we pay for, that are paying for bombs and bullets very close to us. And it's our moral responsibility, whether we are Christian or Jewish or Muslim or agnostic or Taoist, to reject that.
You've shown that secularization
I'm not
doesn't work.
actually interested in your Christian proselytization. I am much more interested in saying to everybody around, I know, I hear you, but I'm telling you, I am much more interested in saying to all of us that we can reject children being killed with our tax dollars, being killed with our government that is literally here. I'm from the United States, killed with the no. You can wait till the end of my sentence. That can be killed with the United States military, and you don't have to be Jewish, you don't have to be Christian, you don't have to be religious at all, you don't have to be Muslim. You just have to say, as a human, whatever value system I have, this is wrong. And I have to fight against that. Now, I understand that you're interested in debating and proselytizing, but I could give a whiz.
A question. Okay, so
You can ask a question.
Okay, I'm going to pose a question for naturalists. How do we know from what is what ought to be? So you've said that.
How do we know from what is what is not meant to be? I would ask all.
Wait, let him explain. Let him
Okay,
explain.
so I'm going to explain. So you've shown nature, you've shown what's going on, you've shown
Trees
observation.
was rained on.
Yeah. How do we know that's what ought to be?
How do we know what is ought to be?
From what is?
Well, there's it's the scientific method, right?
Okay, and that's what is. You've
Yeah,
not shown
well,
a correlation from what ought to be.
Well,
You've said that science, nature, therefore this is moral, this is good.
Sure.
That's not there's no correlation there. That's just what is, and you've not shown how that's a correlation.
I have to tell you, I'm not incredibly invested as you are in whether or not the Quran or the Bible.
I'm not talking about
or
my
the
worldview. I'm talking
Torah,
about yours. I'm critiquing yours. I'm not therefore positing that if you're wrong, I'm right. I'm simply asking about
the
your
golden
worldview.
rule.
Yeah.
What?
I don't respect. Okay, hold on. As a Christian,
you can't say I have to listen to your
you're
question,
comparing-
as boring as it is, and then
it's
when I
boring,
answer
right.
you 2 words in, you say I don't have to listen to your
Well, no,
answer.
Okay.
It's
go for
called the golden rule. It's fairly universal. You can find it all over the world.
Found in the Bible.
What
It's
are you,
in-
a fucking English teacher?
It's found in the Bible.
Do unto others as you wish to have done unto
Where's
you.
that from?
Where's that from?
It's everywhere.
Where's it?
Where's that from? Specifically. Where's it from? What's that?
Where's it
Rabbi
from?
Hillel.
Rabbi Hillel.
Where's it from?
Where's it from?
The Talmud.
It is from the Bible. It is the word spoken to Jesus.
Wait, if I am not for myself, who will be?
What verse of the Talmud is that?
Okay, so
I'm
can
not
I just?
for myself.
Yeah.
who will
So you
be?
do understand that in Christianity, I love
If I
you.
don't do it now,
I respect you, but I will never respect your beliefs. I will never love your beliefs, but I'll love you.
that's great. What are you doing to help children in Gaza? You just coming down to Speaker's Corner and heckling
What are you doing?
speakers?
What are you doing?
I
It's a
do a lot
two-part
of.
way.
I do political activism. No, I'm
What
not.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Political activism.
I think that every person in this country should be protesting outside of Buckingham Palace.
And you're presupposing I don't do that.
protesting outside of the. Do you?
Well, I go to
asking you.
protests.
I'm asking
I go to protests.
To
to find
protect
my.
people in Gaza.
I'm young. I am open-minded.
Okay.
I have discussions
Sure.
like this.
Okay.
Now, I just want you to answer my question. How do we
Yeah.
know from what is what ought to be?
I'm not interested in this philosophical wankering.
It's not. Okay,
while
everyone's
you're having this
everyone's
debate,
a
literally
philosopher.
while we're having it, they're bombing hospitals.
but-
and what you have to do is you have to ask yourself, is this satisfy you? Is this the Christian ideal that you want to do? You just want to be able to prove what is and what is not, and how do we have a moral comings?
So in Christianity-
you're young. I am not young. I have lived through enough wars. I have lived through the wars against Grenada, against Panama, against Iraq, against Yugoslavia, against Iraq again, against Afghanistan before that. We keep having wars. We keep bombing children. And I'm done with this question
So,
about
are you
is it the
familiar-
Bible or
are
the
you familiar
Quran
with what
or
a
the
ju-
Torah
so, are you
or a
familiar-
Taoist or an online
I-
internet thing
yeah.
that tells me what is my
Are you
moral
familiar with
foundation
what a just
for
war
us
is?
reject?
In Christianity, are you familiar with the theology of a just war?
What we're seeing, we haven't seen a just war in my
No,
life
but what
from
in
the United
Christianity,
States. And
no,
our
because
responsibility.
I'm going to show you
our-
what Christianity would do.
I know there was
if-
Christian priests in Vietnam,
No,
and
hold on.
they would
That's
pray
not,
with
I'm
their
not talking about
soldiers.
historical examples.
What?
I'm talking about a just war. A just war.
What's a just war?
A
Okay,
just
teach
war
him.
would be in a response to, or in the intention to, provide peace. Now, if what we find in Israel and Gaza is disproportionate in your worldview, we would not consider that a just war.
So it's not a just war. So we have to stop it.
Exactly. But you arguing that there's similarities and that they're exactly the same, the Torah, Quran, and the Bible,
Yes.
I do not find that.
Well, that's I'm
Because
sorry.
I would consider-
Go and become a religion major. That's
Okay.
not the question at hand. Not all of us are invested in old books. Some of us are invested in the time that we live in. We owe nothing to the past. Everyone who was alive 150 years ago
Christ is living.
now dead.
Christ
That's
is
true.
risen.
We're the new people.
Christ is risen. He's still here.
What?
They're
What?
on choosing that.
What?
This is the problem. You've got this worldview and you think the whole world's going along with your worldview, but they're not. People
That's
are
not
fighting.
true.
We hold
The
an
vast
objective truth.
majority,
Hold on.
the
We
vast
hold an
majority.
objective
Time out.
truth. Right.
Look,
This is
I'm
your
from
Western
the
view.
United
This
States.
is your Western view. This is your Western view.
What?
I'm not from the West. I know this not to be.
Where are you from?
I'm Turkish. And
Okay.
I know for the.
You're telling me that if we go and we talk to 200 people on the street in Turkey,
So it's appeal to a
that they're
bandwagon
gonna- wait a
fallacy.
second, I'm sorry. If we talk to 200 people on the street in Turkey, that the vast majority are
Fallacy
going to say
machine.
they reject what's happening in Gaza?
Wait,
You're
no.
going to just
This
you're
is-
going to
this
say
is a
that that's not
bandwagon
true?
fallacy. Do we appeal to the
I'm
majority?
not a philosophy major. My
Okay,
mother's a philosopher.
everyone's a
I'm not talking
philosopher.
about-
Everyone's a
I'm talking about
philosopher. Wait,
specifics
can we
in
establish
No,
this
this?
but
Everyone's
I'm from the United States. We are the country that is supporting what is happening in Palestine the most. But listen.
The reason they're going to reject it is not purely based on your neoliberal human rights.
I'm not a
conception.
neoliberal, and I'm not
hold on.
into human
So,
rights.
what I'm
saying
so-
is that there's a moral wrong
But you're
happening in the
you're
world right now.
strawmanning.
There's a moral
Don't touch
problem
me.
that's happening in the world right now. Then don't just talk over me.
Hey, the speaker's gone now.
There's a
that we
moral
hold an
issue
objective
that's
truth
happening
claim
in the world
that
right
our
now,
Bible
and that the majority of
for
people
the
in the United
eternal
States
to
are against it. The majority of people in the United States are against it. And all the polling suggests it, but the two major political parties are both
But what is
for
the
it.
predominant
The
religion in
majority of
America?
people in Turkey are
What's
against
the
it.
predominant religion
But
in
what
America?
happens? The Turkey still
What's the
is
predominant
not
religion
doing
in
anything to
America?
stop
Answer
it.
that question.
But if you
Yeah. So what's the predominant religion in America?
Christian, it's,
Okay.
there's,
Good.
There's more
Okay.
Christian Zionists than there are
That's
Jewish
good.
Zionists.
Okay,
It's
okay,
crazy.
so let's establish
If you
that.
go
But
to
point
Egypt,
two,
the majority of
everyone's a
people in
philosopher.
Egypt are against
So
what's
you're
happening
poisoning the world.
in Gaza.
You're poisoning the
right?
world.
The
Everyone's a philosopher.
overwhelming majority of
Everyone's a
people in the world
philosopher.
are
If I go down the
against
street
what is happening
and I see
in
a
Gaza.
stubber
And
and
so
I
the
question the
we have
ethics
to
of that,
ask is,
that's a philosophy.
how do we stop what's
Everyone
happening
here is
in
a
Gaza?
philosopher.
Because every
Everyone's
day
a
that we
philosopher.
wait, there's children that are being bombed. And we have to reject that. We have to push back
Are you
against
willing
that.
to personally
And
get
I
militarily
agree, but
What?
under
Are you-
Christianity,
I'm
that's
already
immoral.
involved.
Are you invested in personally getting militarily involved?
I don't. Well, in the
Because
United
you
States,
call-
it's
you
very
call- you
difficult to
call what he's
military.
doing
Yeah.
philosophical wankery.
Well,
You are here.
some of it, yes.
But you questioning the efficacies of that, that's philosophy.
Yeah.
That's a self-refuting worldview. You are a philosopher. You're saying
Thank you.
kids
I am
being
a philosopher.
bombed
But the point of
is
philosophy is
ethically
not just to
questionable.
understand the world,
That's
it is to
philosophy.
change it. And what
You're
we-
a philosopher.
He really says
Thank you. I
philosophy.
am quite
So
the philosopher.
I'm not a philosopher
But if you
wankery.
look at all
Am I
my
committing that?
Exactly.
Well, so we can have a discussion then. Philosopher to philosopher.
There's
What?
lots of wars where people have immigrated to help out in the war in a material, physical, militaristic way. And
Say it
you're
again.
not doing
Say it again. No, say it again. I'm listening.
that. I'm saying there are a lot of wars where people have gone personally
Yeah.
to aid in a physical manner.
Yeah.
That would be the opposite of philosophical wankery.
Well, I actually don't think that we don't have to necessarily pick up guns to go and fight in the war. I live ostensibly in a bourgeois democracy, and in a bourgeois democracy, just like England on some levels, it depends on the consent of the governed. And so, if it depends on the consent of the governed, what we have to do is we have to come together, Jews, Muslims, Christians,
Under what-
agnostics, even this guy,
Yeah,
we have
I
to come
would,
together
God
and we have to say
willingly,
we do
as a
not
brother in
consent to this
Christ.
war.
Absolutely.
We do not have to consent
Absolutely,
to
but
bombing
what- under
children.
what-
We do not have to
under
consent
what
to
agreement?
supporting apartheid. We do not have to
I
consent
agree,
to
but what-
imperialism.
under what
That's
agreement?
our task. And so
Under what agreement?
we are told. Wait a second. I want to answer your question. I'm being serious. If we watch Marvel movies, everybody's Iron Man, and Iron Man is the hero. And what we're going to do is we're going to fetishize boys with guns, and the boys with guns get to be the heroes in the movie. The people who are interested in that are the generals. That is not how the world should be. We should evolve past apes hitting each other with rocks. What we should do is we should say we have an well.
That is,
yeah.
you are literally
Rectified.
Oh no, philosophy.
saying-
I just was
you're
against the
saying
bullshit
that the
interruption.
belief in God
But time out, to
causes
return to your
immoral
question.
wars. That's philosophy.
The people
That is
here,
philosophy.
the people here,
That is the
we have
definition of
evolved
philosophy.
past
Philosophy, yes.
beating each other's brains in with rocks. So it's not just that we are
Is that a
going
derivative
to
of religion or society?
a society. The
Okay, so it's
English
got to do with
government
religion.
beats people's heads in with rocks,
Okay,
and the
why is
American
that?
government
Okay.
beats people's heads in with rocks.
but-
It's just not a rock.
wait.
It's a
So
2,000-pound bomb dropping
these
on a
are
hospital.
secular countries.
And you have
Great.
to ask
Okay,
yourself,
these are secular
what are
countries.
you doing to stop it?
Are these two
What
secular
are you doing to
countries?
stop
These
it?
two secular countries.
Are these countries secular? I'm Christian, correct?
Yeah, you are Christian. We know
Yeah,
that.
I'm a Christian, but these countries are they secular? There's some. The England are ceremonial
See, this is the thing.
Christians,
If you
and
come
America
to
is
Speaker's
secular.
Corner, you want to have people who want to explain to you that the Bible is the way. You want to have people who want to explain to you
Absolutely.
the Torah is the way. The Nation of Islam will explain to you that their version of the Quran is the way.
And we'll have these discussions.
I am not interested
This is
in
the
that.
definition of
I'm not
Speaker's
interested in
Corner.
that.
A
I-
discussion.
No. I'm an American Jew, and I will hug all of you, even you, because I'm not interested in converting you to being
I'm
me.
interested in a discussion,
I'm
and
interested
let's see
in
where that
reaching
goes.
out to the other people who reject children being bombed. I am
But under
interested
what
in
moral
reaching
framework?
out to the
Because
other.
naturalism's ungrounded.
Whatever moral framework you want to bring, I'll let you come into
Okay,
the tent.
so pagans
I
that
am
execute
interested-
children, is that considered moral?
What is this? 1412? We're in 2024. There's not
There's
pagans.
pagans that
There's
exist.
pagans today.
Yeah, there are pagans today, and they will sacrifice children. So
Okay.
you saying that
I'm
we should
not
unite
talking
every
about
religion?
Halloween over here.
I'm not-
I'm talking
okay.
about Earth in 2024. They're dropping 2,000-pound bombs on
Considers-
children, and we have to ask ourselves a serious question: do we reject that? Is the
We do reject.
Thank you. Sure. Wait a second. I'm going to go with your question, but 1 second. Raise your hand if you reject dropping 2,000-pound bombs on children. Just a show of hands.
Philosophy.
Show of hands.
Everyone who put your hand up, you're
Okay,
a
that's
philosopher.
fine, that's
Welcome
fine.
to the
Great.
business.
You're now a philosopher. Continue your question.
So I'm saying, so if we assume this paradigm, what's the and then, I'm not asking what's the paradigm in terms of let's go protest. What are we protesting for? What is the end goal? What do you want to happen in real terms in that area of the Middle East? Because this is the major issue here.
Sure.
Yes, we disagree with this, but what's the solution from here? Because I do not agree with the solution
I
you're
will,
going to provide.
I'm gonna give you. You're probably gonna disagree with my solution.
exactly.
I'm gonna tell you my solution. Sure, take it. I'm gonna tell you my solution, and I'm Jewish, and this is what I think should happen. On my bookcase at home, I have a library. When I got my place, the very first thing is I built a library. I like history.
That's
and
philosophy. History's philosophy.
Thank you.
The contemporary
Can you
sources of
follow
history.
me everywhere and validate everything I say?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
great.
Well, then you're a philosopher.
But I have in my house, I have a tour book of Palestine from 1940. And do you know what it has listed in the tour books of Palestine in like 1940? Where the synagogues are. And it is, because there were synagogues in Palestine before. And
But
when
would you not
look
say
at-
that
when
this
there
conflict,
were
hold on.
synagogues.
Where is this conflict in the Middle East?
I'm
Is it-
answering his question.
Okay,
I'm still
fine.
answering. There were synagogues in Palestine before the Nakba, before the creation of the State of Israel. And if
While
you
it was on the British
while it was under the British record, that's absolutely true. But it's true that there were synagogues.
while under the protectorate of the British and prior
Yeah, but
to
the
that.
British. But let's be honest.
No, let's
Palestinians.
be honest. Let's be
Palestinians.
honest. If we're going to have this discussion about rights of land, that becomes philosophy first. Secondly,
sure.
we go back to the formation of Palestine as an Islamic state, and we say, who were the people prior to the Islamic invasion of that area of the Middle East? So, what is? No, I truly want to know what is the statute of limitations for a country to become legitimate.
There are people alive today.
Unless you're saying that
There are
you want
people
two parties.
alive today who were alive during the Nakba.
Yeah,
There are
but
people.
is that the statute
There are
of
people
limitations?
alive today who watched their families be murdered during the
Can I just ask a
Nakba.
question quickly?
And so this is not ancestral, this is not historical, this is today. The past is now. And so it is not for me to say, this is what should absolutely happen, this is what should absolutely happen. I will tell you what I believe, and this is mine, but you don't have to agree
But
with
the
me.
Hamas charter does it not quote
Israel?
Hadith?
No, it does not.
It does
Wow,
quote
boy.
No,
Hadith.
it doesn't.
Yeah, the
It
first
got renewed.
charter-
It was written
Yeah,
like
the
851
first
or whatever.
charter. He talks about
Go have this one, and he's wrong, but I don't feel like
the
debating.
unamended,
Don't get
the
listen,
unamended
listen,
charter,
listen,
the
listen,
one
listen.
prior to it in chapter 7, quoted a hadith pertaining to the
don't-
coming of days.
Does the actual Hamas charter
Here's the
say
thing.
today?
Today it got abrogated. It got
We
abrogated.
don't. States do not deserve to live.
Are we talking about this?
Could you just be a little quieter?
But does it not quote
States,
hadith?
states do not
The original
deserve to
charter does
exist.
not quote hadith.
States do not deserve to exist because they're states. So you have to ask yourself one of two things. Either the Palestinians are the subjects of Israel. If you think the Palestinians are the subjects of Israel, I'm an American. And in America we have the Declaration of Independence. And the Declaration of Independence says...
But does it include a Bible verse that talks about the coming of
Nobody gives a
days?
shit about your Bible.
Wait, does the Declaration of Independence
says
include a Bible
explicitly-
verse which
the
talks about the coming of days?
Declaration of
No,
Independence says
but in the
explicitly
charter for Hamas,
the government
is there
doesn't
a hadith
represent
verse
you have
talking
the
about
right
the
to
coming of
rebel.
days whereby they would unalive the Jews?
I know,
Okay,
but I said
so
I'm
you
an
saying we
American.
should unite Judaism, Islam and Christianity is
Guys, it
unfounded
would work better
when
if you
these
listened. It
organizations
works better if you listen.
advocate for the annihilation of a
You
group
get it
for the
so
coming of
wrong
days?
so quickly in so few words.
Okay, respond to it then.
If you believe that the Palestinians
Respond to
are
it then, okay.
subjects of Israel, then as an American, we believe you have the right to rebel and overthrow your government. If you believe that the Palestinians are not subjects of Israel, the United Nations says that any colonially occupied force can liberate itself. And that's what they're doing, and we have no right to
You
judge
said
them.
religion.
Oh, fuck off.
Even the UN said.
Fuck off.
Okay,
You have no substance to this.
Okay, I do.
There's no
I was talking
evidence to
philosophy,
this.
you called it wankery.
No substance. It's bullshit.
There's nowhere in the international law that allows Israel to do what it's doing. You can quote they can quote anything they want, but if they go and look at international law,
But
there
again,
isn't
you
a
said
single aspect of
unite
international
under
law that allows-
a moral line, and in this moral line,
like this boob. You are
I'm not a
If you
boob.
look at
Listen to him.
If you
But
read the
he
Geneva
said unite
Convention, if you
religions
look at
under
the
one
United
moral
Nations
framework.
260,
I
You're not going to
disagree.
unite the religions of
You
allows-
said under the
it
fact that
allows the
children are dying.
Palestinians to
So, he said no rape happened. Reasonable grounds to believe. Conflict related to sexual violence occurred. Israel during October the 7th attacked Seniors UN tells Security Council. This is from United Nations. Was the United Nations lying? Now answer the question. I think radical Judaism and radical Islam is the same. But you all these religions are the same.
The IDF commits
And I condemn it.
incredible
Will you
sexual
condemn
violence.
Hamas?
Yeah, will you connect Hamas? Answer!
He's quiet! Sign of guilt! I make my case!
Are you a fan of Hamas?
I'm not a fan of
So
Hamas.
why to quote hadith? And you said Islam,
I'm not a fan of
Judaism.
Hamas. I'm not
Wait.
I'm
Hamas.
American.
Don't run for the point!
Time out. I'll give you the news with which to hang me. I'm American. We have invaded Panama. We've invaded, in my lifetime, Panama, Grenada, Nicaragua,
just
El
wars?
Salvador, Honduras, Iraq.
You see how he's
Yugoslavia,
refusing to answer my
Afghanistan.
question?
Are these
No, no,
just
the
wars?
answer to your question.
Are these just
We've
wars?
invaded all these countries. Who am I to condemn those who resist?
But again, that's
I have,
pointing
unlike
out.
you, I have
Are you the
humility.
US government?
Unlike you, I
Are you
have
the US
humility.
government? Are you the US government, or are you an individual who will question the ethical?
That's part of the bankruptcy of liberal democracy. I am supposed to be who the power of the government is.
Are you saying Hamas in some sense on the 7th of October when they attacked innocent people and then took grandmas from their homes and murdered them? What to Israel?
Wait, so you respond to his question, but not mine?
Yeah, I will.
Why will you not respond to mine?
It's a terrible argument.
Oh, Buddha, you're running! You're running! You're a coward, bro.
let me answer your question. Let me answer your question. I want to say two things.
Israel doesn't do that.
Answer my
What
question.
doesn't do what?
Israel doesn't.
Doesn't do what? Doesn't do what?
They don't.
Old enough.
We did not a Palestinian having a music festival. Israel.
I'm old enough. I'm old enough.
I would encourage you right now today. Don't listen to me. Go to your home computer. Sort by date, and type in quotes, Palestinian child shot. Search.
Well, if you go on Hamas.com, you'll see the fruits of Islam.
Okay.
Go on Hamas.com.
Yeah.
You'll find way more vile content there.
Okay, my first question. Anyway.
No, wait a second. I'm asking you a question.
You're not answering my question.
Nothing.
I came here.
I'm talking to the other people here. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you could talk to them when you answer my question.
Google News.
I have done it.
Search by date.
Go on,
Oh, so I guess you're an excuse. You can rape people because bad things happen. This guy has no ethics.
Nothing.
Come to the park and complain about
You can
ethics.
talk
This is
over me
lit.
because
This is
you're
the biggest joke I've ever heard in my life.
Type in the word Palestinian child shot. You will find results. Type in the word.
Search up the words Hamas.com. You will find Hamas soldiers raping women. You will find Jews being shot in the head.
Yes.
And these are the fruits of the moral framework of Islam.
Hamas's attack on the 7th of October.
Before 7 October. Before 7 October.
On what basis was
Before 7 October.
It's been a colonial occupation for 75 years. What are you talking about?
on what basis it was resistant? Hamas's attack.
Do you want to know what my honest?
Before
This is the
7
time. Let me
October.
answer you. Let me answer you.
Why not answer me then?
Israel is holding hostages.
Yeah.
Israel is holding children hostage.
There's two wrongs makes a right.
I'm going to ask you a philosophical question. Do two wrongs make a right? What?
That's too wrong.
I'm just asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, okay, Now debate.
We have a discussion.
I don't have a problem with
No, I
your
give you
substance. It's
answer.
more your stylings. But the,
Okay,
the
so if I
question,
explain them
I'll
one time.
ask the question.
Okay, can he answer a question after?
the answer is this, and we all know it. And if you spend 20 minutes reading it instead of reciting Hamas.com 4,000 times, you'll learn the
All
correct
right, so
answer.
you're telling me to search up.
Palestinian.
Get
See,
shot.
this is
That's
why I don't
substance.
answer your questions, you fucking prat. You keep interrupting.
You got a kid there, you little cunt.
That's my kid. That's my kid. Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
The fruits of atheism.
If you
Exactly.
don't stop. I love to answer the question.
I
I'd like to answer the question.
You're a liar, man.
Israel, stop. I'm not interested in the back and forth. It's a waste of our lives. The truth is that Israel holds hostages. We just don't call them hostages. Before October 7th.
Name one case where Israel took a 9-month-old baby. Give one case where Israel took a 4-year-old baby. Give me a case.
Yeah, give me a case, yeah.
What are you talking about? Just look at what are you talking about? What are you talking
Get
about?
away from the question. Answer my question.
Answer your question. I told them
What's he at the park for?
I'm
He's
told-
at the park to have a discussion and answer
Exactly.
questions.
Yeah.
I'll
How do
do
you
a
stand
Google
up?
search for you.
Hamas.com first. Because you'll traumatize people around you. Yeah, kids getting shot, animals getting shot,
No, let me
Jews
find
getting raped.
the 9-month-old baby that Israel took. Go on.
I am. I'm looking it up.
Show him.
For 11 months.
Chop.
Show him here.
Someone put a timer.
Yeah.
Oh, you can only find when Hamas does it.
Oh, they're so funny. They're so funny. Yeah.
Because his kid is still too
I'm looking it up.
I'm just looking.
You asked me to look it up, and then you want to hack
I didn't know you to look it up.
Sam, go, he look himself.
Wait, so you do understand when you come to the park, you must have some material to speak on.
Palestinian
Yes,
baby died
yes,
from tear
yeah,
gas
yeah.
inhalation.
That's horrific. I condemn it. Will you condemn Hamas for taking a 9-month-old
Palestinian-
We condemn it. Will you condemn Hamas taking a 9-month-old baby? We can do that.
Answer.
Yes or no?
No.
Oh, look,
Are you undefeated? And this is the fruits of Islam showing.
That's
We
right.
won't condemn it because this is what Islam preaches.
That's right.
Do you condemn all the Palestinian children?
Absolutely. I
Yes.
pray for them every single
Can I
day.
say something? Can I say something? Because I'm looking this up, and I can look it up forever. It's fucking boring.
It's boring because you'll never find it.
Are you full of shit? I fucking Google search on a phone.
It's a Google search, okay? You understand that I can make an article about dinosaurs existing today. It doesn't mean it's verified.
Exactly. Exactly.
Could we have a time discussion? Time debate.
Time. Relax.
Time debate.
In the middle of the
Time
Here's
debate.
the thing. Here's the thing.
2 minutes each.
Here's the thing. Here's the
2
thing.
minutes each.
Let me
Debate.
You need to go back and
Do you want the answer?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the answer. I'll tell you the answer.
Go on Google. That's a good
I
answer.
am. No, I did tell him to Google.
Look, they're attacking this man, this people.
No, it's okay. I'm not afraid. I'm from New York, so it doesn't scare me at all.
I'm not afraid of you. I love you.
So
on what basis am I-
I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to answer your
10
question.
minutes, I'm waiting.
I am Jewish.
They always refer to me.
I'm not done. I'm Jewish. I think. Well, fucking A. Just listen to the end of the argument if you want to have a debate.
Okay, we'll have.
I'm Jewish. I think that every fucking moron. This is what I believe. I think that every Jewish life is important, and we should protect every Jewish life.
But then Hamas.
And if you go back in history to the pogroms, if you go back in history to the Holocaust, there was a long period of time where Jews were not safe in Europe. Jews were not safe in Russia. Well, this is true. This is true. And anti-Semitism is real today, and we should challenge it every time it pops its head out of its up.
Wait, so is anti-Semitism?
No, I did not say that. I don't say that.
Is anti-Semitism a
Time out.
derivative of Christianity?
I'm trying to answer your questions, and you can't handle the answer, so you heckle. There was a debate that happened over 100 years ago. And the debate that happened over the debate that happened. Let's not do the camera. The debate that happened over 100 years ago was between the Jewish Bund and the Zionists. And what the Zionists said was, we are going to create a safe space, and the safe space is where all the Jews can go, and we will be safe there. And some of them said it was going to happen in Ethiopia. It ended up happening in what's historical Palestine. But the other side of the debate was the Bund, and the Bund were the Jewish workers, and the Jewish workers said, we have to make it so that Jews, like everyone else, are safe everywhere on earth. Notice the amount of deflection. I'm answering the fucking question! Now, we can, listen. Time out. Historically, we can say there were some good people on this side of the debate, and there were some good people on this side of the debate.
Yes.
Because when you're afraid of a pogrom, you are acting in fear.
Yes.
And there was right-wing Zionists and there were left-wing
But what
Zionists.
framework of morals are you
I'm
using?
not talking about frameworks. I'm talking about history.
But you're saying these people are bad.
I'm
these
not
people are
done.
good.
I'm not
So
done.
where are
I'm
you
going to
getting
finish
that
it.
from?
Yeah.
We can say that historically there was good people on both sides of the debate,
but where are
but
you
we're
getting the
not
difference
going
from?
to talk over me because you're afraid I can I'm trying to answer your question. I'm trying to answer your question.
I'm just patiently waiting for you.
Yes. This comes back to the 9-month-old who got kidnapped. That's what I'm answering about. The side of the debate that said we're going to create a Jewish safe space was the wrong side. The side, because
he's talking to someone. Just relieve him.
I'm telling you.
Back here.
We have to go back to the other side of the debate, the one that has been erased from history, the side of the Jewish Bund. And what that debate says is that a Jew should be safe at Speaker's Corner. They should be safe in Brooklyn. They should be safe in historic Palestine. They should be safe in Iran, which traditionally had a very large Jewish population. They should be safe everywhere in the world. But also, every Palestinian should be safe in Gaza, in the West Bank, at Speaker's Corner, in New York, in Iran, and everywhere else.
He has
And
mentioned Muslim and secular countries which persecute Jews.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They both persecute Jews. Christianity won't do that. No Christian theocracy will persecute
What we're
Jews.
doing is,
And if they do that, I'll condemn
what
them.
we have is we have a right-wing Zionist state. That's what we have right now. that says these people matter and these people don't matter, which should be very familiar in England. Because if you go back to Winston Churchill, he would say these British people mattered and these Indian people didn't matter. If you go back to the United States, you would say this white American matters, this Iraqi doesn't matter. That is a colonial mentality. I say we reject it. You can be Jewish and reject that. You can be Muslim and reject it. You can be Christian and reject it.
I reject it.
And as we reject it tonight, as we reject it, what we are trying to do is
I'm not a Zionist. I was originally talking about
what
religion.
as we reject the value system, that says some people matter and other people don't, we come into a world where people no longer say, I'm answering your question, just wait for the end. We exit a world where people say, if you say that one person matters and our Palestinian lives don't matter, what you're going to do is you're going to end a world where they say, okay, if you say that we don't matter, but you matter, we will no longer say that we have to kidnap an Israeli child because you have 9,000 Palestinian prisoners that you're torturing in Israeli jail. That is the logic of colonialism, and we reject that. Show of hands, who agrees?
I want to respond to this question.
Mike, how would